G'day Josh. How you doing, mate?
I'm alright.
Good. Okay, so Josh is one of my new trainers here at the bootcamp centre. I just want to ask him some questions and just find out a little bit of his background in fitness and where you came from and where you are today and where you see yourself in the future and what your ultimate end goal is, if there is one.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool, so just give me a bit of a brief background. Jump in.
Brief background, well, I started out lifting weights probably 2.5 years ago, and I was actually really skinny before that. I was like super skinny. I was one of the skinny kids. I wasn't a stick thin, but I was pretty skinny, and I used to get made fun of because of that. I decided, I found out about Arnold. Obviously I had no idea who Arnold even was. I saw him in a movie, I liked his physique. I was like, hey, you know what, I'll look him up, and turns out he was a bodybuilder, obviously, as most of you probably know that. But I didn't know that, and I found out, and I was really intrigued by his physique, and I wanted that physique, so got into the gym, started lifting by myself, didn't really have much of a plan. Started doing some research online, started looking on the forum, started learning about fitness and nutrition and stuff like that. Dedicated my mind to it. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be skinny. I set myself a time frame of about 6 months, and in those 6 months I went from around 60 kilos to 80 kilos. So I gained 20 kilos in around 6 months.
Yeah, nice.
So that's a bit of my background.
So how old were you when you first started training and wanting to change your body?
I would have been about 15 or 14 and a half, something like that.
Yeah, okay. And what, you actually got picked on at school for being a skinny kid?
Yeah, so in primary school I was always, I got a few comments, you know, I didn't like it. I was, you know, people were like, oh, you're a bit skinny. Yeah, it's just an observation, I guess, but I didn't like it and I wanted to change that, so I did.
Yeah, okay. And so how old are you now, Josh?
So I'm turning 18 in a couple of months.
Yep.
So I'm 17 at the moment.
So you're still fairly young, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But you've already done a competition, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So I actually did a bodybuilding competition last year with the ICN Federation, so that's a natural bodybuilding federation. I decided that I wanted to compete, but I didn't want to do it against people who were way older than me and people who were obviously juicing or something like that. So I decided on this federation, and I bulked up a bit more. Obviously I gained those initial 20 kilos, did a little bit of a cut, got in shape, gained another 20 kilos, about another 10 kilos. I got myself up to 90 kilos, and then I cut back down to around 75, and that was about my stage weight when I stepped on stage on the bodybuilding competition. So, yep.
Oh, nice. So how was that experience?
It was good. It was 24 weeks. I started actually, most people they would recommend for a bodybuilding competition to do 16 weeks or 20 weeks, something like that, as a preparation. I actually did 24. I decided from the 24 weeks out that I would cut out all excess sugar, all excess fat, everything like that. And then after the 20 weeks, when the 20 weeks rolled around, basically I just kept going with that, made it even more stricter, and obviously as it goes on, diet gets stricter, diet gets harder, training gets more intense. But I really enjoyed it. It was actually a good experience to have, and even though I didn't get the results I wanted, I came fourth, which was alright in the teenage division, and yeah, good overall experience to have, I guess. So.
And what current phase are you in at the moment? What are your goals?
So at the moment, basically, I came off of the competition at about 75 kilos. I lost my abs in about 3 weeks. I was, after 24 weeks in a really high calorie deficit, I was just so hungry. I was eating everything that I couldn't eat for those last 24 weeks, and I put on quite a lot of fat, actually, like almost too much fat. I touched around 100 kilos, and now I'm in the phase where I'm starting to cut back down again. I've been on this cutting phase for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I've lost around 8 kilos. So I'm aiming to lose a bit more, get rid of that fat, so I can see my abs again, I guess.
Yep. And your ideal vision of yourself, say in the next 10 years, where do you want to see your body?
Ideal vision, I would like to see myself lift 200 kilo deadlift, 200 kilo squat. At the moment I'm sitting around 180 kilos for both. And well, not around, I've got 180 kilo squat, 180 kilo deadlift. I really want to hit 200 kilos with both. In 10 years, was it? Yeah, in 10 years I'd probably like to see even 300 kilos. I really want to get big and strong. Physique wise, I'd like to be probably around 95 kilos and shredded. That's where I'd like to see myself.
Is there any particular fitness model?
Yeah, so Callum von Moger is a prime example, a little bit smaller than Callum von Moger, but yeah, definitely shredded, and being athletic as well. I did gymnastics since I was a kid, so I'd like to maintain that gymnastic side of things and not only have the muscle but actually be able to functionally use that muscle too.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add? That's it. That's pretty much the story. Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no
Good
worries.
stuff, man.